Well, that records being away for about a month. That's because I went back to the UK for a lovely holiday. But now I'm back in Japan, and yes, it's still bloody hot and humid. God, how I hate summers in Japan. Anyway, let's take a look at another Sega Saturn game. This is Mizubaku Adventure. Mizubaku Adventure. Coming to us from Ving, originally by Taito in the arcades, but Ving did the Sega Saturn conversion. And how good it is compared to the original arcade, I can't really say because I can't really remember the arcade. But considering Ving's other Sega Saturn conversions from the arcade, such as Elevator Action Returns and what was it, the Bubble Symphony and so on, Night Striker and whatever, they're all pretty accurate to the arcade, so I'm guessing this is pretty accurate to the original arcade as well. Now, as you can see, you can take control of this little, well, whatever it is. Looks like a pug dog. Or could be a raccoon. Could be anything for all I know. But anyway, you take control of this thing, and you just throw your balls of water at the bad guys. What a short level that was. That's all you do in this game, you just throw your balls of water at the bad guys. Yeah. That's the only way to kill them. Well, not exactly. You can actually, I don't know. It looks like they're getting frozen. Maybe the water's really cold. But I'll just say they're drowning because it's a bit more morbid, isn't it? So, the little guy, he drowns the other players on the screen, or the other characters on the screen. And what you can do is actually, once you've got one drowned, you can actually walk into that character and knock him into his fellow mutated whatever they are. And you'll take them out as well. Go and rescue my daughter, or at least I think it's my daughter. Could be my girlfriend actually, she's been kidnapped. Now you may notice a similarity between this game and one of Taito's earlier games. You know, the way the enemies just appear out of nowhere randomly throughout the stage. What game does that look like? Well, it's another slow-paced platformer action game, and it is rock hard, really hard. A bit like this. Yes, that's the one. New Zealand Story. Now, I'm not too sure whether Mizubaku Adventure is an official sequel to New Zealand Story, but a lot of the characters do resemble New Zealand Story's characters, and there's even a bonus stage, which you'll get to see in a moment, where it's got one of the original Kiwis from the New Zealand Story in the background. So there's going to be some connection there. Here we go with the first level boss. Surprisingly more difficult than the second level boss. Now the only way you can attack him is by throwing your little water balls at him. You don't actually have to put out the fire as you might think, just have to hit the rabbit, that's all. But due to your character moving quite slowly, it can be a little bit tricky at times. And following the tradition of many different Taito games, you can actually select what stage you go to next. Not in a Darius way where you got a big triangle selection of levels, but you do get to choose between level 1 or level 2. Or whatever levels are hidden behind the door, I should say. Now, while Mizubaku Adventure certainly won't set the world alight with its graphics, they certainly do the job. And there are quite a few nice little touches in there. especially the nice little animation which plays when you go into the water, and you have a little ring around you, a little inflatable ring, which is quite nice, I thought. And as I mentioned before, the game is actually quite difficult, so don't be put off by its cutesy graphics thinking it's some little kiddie game, because it certainly is not. There's quite a lot of strategy involved in where you're going to stand to take out a few enemies, and it also can get quite busy as well. And of course, being a platformer, and a Japanese platformer at that, there's definitely going to be some of those split timing jumps in there, which, to be honest, drive me bloody nuts. Oh, there's me dead. As you can see, you continue where you left off, so it's not too bad once you get killed, but don't worry, on later levels you'll soon be getting killed again. And you do get 99 credits as well, so it is actually quite easy to finish the game if you persevere. You're getting killed constantly because you keep making the same mistake. There we go, it's a little kiwi from New Zealand story in the background. Can you see it? Now, fans of multiplayer games will be very happy to know that this game is actually a two-player game. Unfortunately, I've got no one to play with me. But that's okay. But what's not okay is the fact that this game does cost an awful lot of money. Now, considering the original arcade game was out in 1990, or was it 1992? I can't really remember now. And this Sega Saturn game came out in 1998, which was quite near the end of the system's life, to be honest. Especially in, well, I think it had already been killed in Europe by that time. Especially in the States, it was gone. But yeah, this game did come out pretty late in the Sega Saturn's life in 1998. Although the Sega Saturn was still getting releases in 2000, but not many. So, being a Taito game, an arcade conversion, a very good one at that, and coming out later on in the system's life, you can expect it to have a pretty hefty price tag. Cleopatra Fortunes springs to mind as well. And yes, it does command quite a large sum of money. It's actually September 2011, and at the moment, this game can be found in the likes of Mandarake, if you can find it, that is, for around about 8 to 10,000 yen, so it's certainly not a cheap title. But is it worth the cash? Well, if you really do like your classic old style platform action games, and you don't mind a bit of a frustrating gameplay in there, because to be honest, the character does move a bit on the sluggish side, and you do get accustomed to that. But, you know, if you're after a non-stop fast pace, no thinking platformer, then this is not going to be up your street. But if you like the slower paced games and you don't mind a bit of thinking going on, then by all means, I think you're really going to like this game. So I'll just shut up now and let you watch it to the very end. Let's take a look at the next stage, because I'll be here forever.